And in terms of when investors look at us, it is realizing returns through exits, whether it's M&A or IPO through our portfolio companies, getting back to ENV Capital itself, both the balance sheet investments as well as the carried interests over the assets under management.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dr. Ilyan Ilyev, CEO of ENV Capital, formerly Net Scientific. Ilyan, good to see you again. Before we talk about the rebrand, for those who are unfamiliar with the company, could you give us a very quick summary of what the business does and how it generates value for your portfolio companies, investors, and also broader stakeholders?
Thank you very much, Stephen. So Net Scientific, from now on what will be called ENV Capital, is a deep tech and life sciences focused venture capital investor, primarily with a focus on the UK, but targeting companies with international ambition, as well as some international investments. We are somewhat different to other VCs in that we combine the use of both PLC balance sheet as well as our growing fund management practice and syndicated investments to support our businesses. In addition to that, we also provide what we call value creation services for some of the companies that require some help in accelerating their growth.
The rebrand and the name change you've announced today is clearly a major milestone. Why did you take the decision and why now?
Thank you, Stephen. Well, the company as it is today is the result of the combination of Net Scientific and ENV Capital back in towards the end of 2020. Since then, the two organizations have integrated fully. The teams have integrated their portfolios, but also what has resulted now as the investment strategy I described is the result of that combination. With the streamlining of the brand, what we are showing is this is one house with one set of investment strategies underneath which we can run multiple sectoral strategies, working once again with both fund management, direct PLC investment, and syndicated investments. Doing so, I think, makes it easier to communicate with our stakeholders, both the PLC investors, as well as the LPs and investors in our funds and portfolio companies, and providing a unified identity to our broader ecosystem and community.
So your business model's clearly changed a lot over the last few years, and you make reference, for instance, to now managing over £100 million in assets under management, capital efficient model, and hands-on support for early stage companies. Combined with the rebranding, this all feels like a watershed moment for the business, Ilyan. How do you think your model differs from others, and how do you see it developing?
Well, Stephen, first of all, it's been a hell of a ride since mid-2020, where it was at the height of COVID. And during that period, the company has grown from 8 to 70 portfolio companies and to 100 million plus in assets under management. That is both direct investments and indirect investments. So I'm really proud with what the team has achieved and very grateful to the support of the investors and other stakeholders who have been us through this often difficult journey. In terms of what comes next, well, again, we see this as the beginning of a new chapter and taking us through to the next stage. I think the fund management practice is going to play an increasingly important role. Part of our model is to have core costs to be covered by operational revenues, which come through fund management fees, through value creation services and others. And in terms of when investors look at us, it is realizing returns through exits, whether it's M&A or IPO through our portfolio companies, getting back to ENV Capital itself, both the balance sheet investments as well as the carried interests over the assets under management. Now, this is a somewhat different model to others in the sense that you get multiple shots on goal through this really amazing array of companies that we are now invested in, while the company itself, the platform, pays for itself from the ongoing revenues. We feel that in today's environment of significant changes in how venture capital is conducted, this model that makes sure that our platform is autonomous, independent, is a much stronger platform than some of the alternatives out there. But also it is something that the portfolio companies themselves appreciate as a more stable, multifaceted and long-term model that ensures that we participate in their success in the long term.
Well, Ilyan, congratulations again on this latest milestone. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Stephen.
That's Dr. Ilyan Ilyev. He's the CEO of EMV Capital.